This is showing what was used to bring down the towers.
As we read in the FEMA report, it says here, and I've put this in my paper, of course, the best hypothesis, which is the only one they looked at, fire, has only a low probability of occurrence. Further investigation, analyses are needed to resolve this issue. And I agree with that.
I'm sorry that we are out of time, and I'm not sure that.
Whoa. One other thing I want to mention about.
Okay, if you can hit it.
Okay.
Quick.
All right. Okay, here we go. Molten metal in the basements of all 3 buildings.
Right.
And yet, all scientists now reasonably agree that the fires were not sufficiently hot to melt the steel. So what is this molten metal? It's a direct evidence for the use of high temperature explosives such as thermite. Ther-mite produces molten iron as an end product.
Okay, we appreciate your coming on.
Okay.
Reach temperatures over 4,500 degrees Fahrenheit, quite enough to liquefy steel. This is thermite melting the engine of a car. We know that open-air fires cannot burn hot enough to melt steel, but metal had melted at the base of the towers. The second product of a thermite reaction is aluminum oxide, visible as white smoke. Of a thermite reaction? Appendix C of the FEMA report describes sulfur residues on the World Trade Center steel. The New York Times called this the deepest mystery of all. Sulfur slightly lowers the melting point of iron, and iron oxide and iron sulfide had formed on the surface of the structural steel. Sulfur used with thermite is called ther-mite, producing even faster results. Preparation. Powerful explosives and heavy equipment are used in advance to weaken the foundation and bottom sections of a building before additional explosives and gravity bring the rest of it down. The words of a senior blaster.
We blow the basement, all the columns in the basement. Then we crack it up at the top to get it started. We go every other floor all the way down. Every explosive has a timer on it. That's why it's controlled. When the columns go, each floor goes down.
Speed, depending on the explosive inside the shaped charge, in excess of 27,000 feet per second.
Besides the unfathomably powerful shaped charge, blasters have a lot of tricks.
There are over 1,000 different types of explosive. Different because they detonate at varying speeds.
This is detonating cord, and this burns at about 21,000 feet per second. Comes in all colors, pastels too.
With the use of delays, we can control pretty much
break it up into millions of pieces and put it in this basement as artfully as we do it, and it works just like clockwork. So I've got it all down to a science. It gives me goosebumps to talk about it.
Towers right down right on their footprints, right down to the ground.
Were the underground explosions intended to blow out the Twin Towers' basements, followed by blasts heard inside the buildings?
There's a rocket on the side of that jet too. They hit that one too.
These core columns were discovered after the collapse. The angled cut occurs in exactly the manner that shaped charges slice through steel beams to control the way they fall. Notice the hardened once liquid metal.
Controlled demolition.
Thermite used with the shaped charge.
The job of the shaped charge is to
In a 7-story crater lie nearly 2 million tons of debris. Had the basements not been blown out, where would 2 million tons have gone? Heaped on the ground, ready to slide and spill? The art of controlled demolition. The whole structure rolling to the ground. Was this the story of that day?
Inside our building, the North Tower, we heard pa 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 pa. And
Bioterror drill. Spokesman Tom Kenny to Dan Rather.
to be honest with you, we arrived on late Monday night and went into action on Tuesday morning. And not until today did we get a full opportunity to work the entire site other than the spot at Church and Day to which we were deployed.
And Rudy Giuliani, mayor of New York, tells ABC's Peter Jennings